against Reggie Williams. This time in isolation for Barkley.
Blows past him, dishes to Tisdale, blocked by Mutombo. And then he intimidated him by just standing there on the next one. Mutombo, the NBA leader. And Mutombo and Barkley with a little bit of action out there in the middle of the floor.
I don't know what Charles was upset about. There was contact underneath the basket. Tisdale, Barkley, and Mutombo were all involved in that offensive rebound. And I don't know if Mutombo got his elbows up, but Barkley was very unhappy and pushed him in the back and got a technical foul.
Let's see if we can catch it. Be Tisdale.
I don't know if I'd want to mess with those eyes. He must be able to stick the shot.
Dawkins blew by Price like he was nailed to the floor, and Nance and Barkley going at it at the top of the key. They're broken up quickly by Rush, Oaks, and Garrison.
This is where Philadelphia has to be really careful. They are a team that plays on the edge. Barkley and Mahorn especially. The officials doing a good job. Charles Barkley cannot afford to get caught up in any extracurricular activity tonight, which could cost his team a playoff victory. Just the explosion of Johnny Dawkins. Look at the quickness. He's a lefty. Mark Price lets him go left. And then the action underneath the boards right there. You see, looks like Barkley shoved Nance in the back. So Larry Nance retaliating, but Charles Barkley must stay under control.
Forward. Free throw by Thornton's no good. Free throwing, they are 4 for 10.
That won't get it done.
The Lakers are only 3 for 6. That's not exactly a world record. 43-35. Los Angeles has never trailed. The Velp wears a knee brace and must weigh 18 pounds.
Charles Barkley is trying to line up on the same side of the floor as Magic Johnson, so Magic keeps shifting back and forth. So Charles doesn't know which way to go.
Be sure and hear Charles at halftime. 43-35.
Offensive-minded team. They haven't had the defensive energy today, and they're going to have some mistakes, and they're the ones that are making all the mistakes right now. Barkley a turnover, and he's hot.
Sam Cassell having a laugh about this one.
Well, Olajuwon flies, and that's what causes Barkley to change his mind, because he knows Olajuwon would get that one in the air. Trapped by the Sun.
Olajuwon to the baseline.
He hasn't had to go there many times. He thought he got fouled, but he can get a shot against Barkley at will.
And Barkley scores.
Mascot would play a key role. Charles, not a governor yet. He was in the lineup, and Charles doing damage underneath. He finished with 26 points and 18 boards and 6 assists. Harry, he didn't like the governor comment. Charles decks him, 37. To the fourth, Westphal is gone. The Hawks still want to play. Westphal out, Charles says, well, maybe I'll join him. Barkley gets tossed.
In talking with Bulls and Sixers players the last couple of days, it's been made clear that this will be a very physical series. Charles Barkley was telling us last season, prior to the playoff series with the Bulls, the Sixers style was actually affected by warnings from the league office.
We're a very physical team. We're not dirty, but we're very physical. We don't give up layups. And I think last year, after the officials met with us and told they were going to toss anybody who threw in their hard fouls, I think we definitely got intimidated. We're not going to live with that this year. We're going to come out and play 76er type basketball.
Well, Mike, to this point, it has been quiet in that department, but the Bulls say they expect very aggressive play. From Chicago's point of view, how do you handle the Sixers' aggressive mentality?
Well, I think the aggressiveness starts at the defensive end.
Spud finds Tim McCormick against Barkley. And a foul on Barkley, banging at McCormick. McCormick slapped his hand away, and Charles responded with a pretty good jolt. And that's a two-shot foul, an elbowing foul.
Throw him the elbow, automatic. Watch Charles. McCormick knocks it away. And Charles gives him the forearm. That will cost him. Those are the type of fouls that the NBA office is not going to tolerate. These guys are much, much too big to be taking cheap shots like that. Well, I tell you that.
two of the NBA's more explosive and excitable players. Barkley trying to draw a foul. Maxwell trying to make sure that he knows where he is.
Charles looking a little like Master Thespian on that trip down court.
First quarter, after getting a technical in a very dominant way, trying to bull Olajuwon off the block.
Maintenant. Et c'était 18 avant son meilleur score.
Oula, la lutte au rebond là.
Ça rigole pas non plus là entre Charles Barkley et Charles Oakley, deux joueurs qui sont dans le classement des meilleurs rebondeurs 1 et 4. C'est-à-dire on a 2 des 4 meilleurs rebondeurs face à face pour gagner une balle chaude. Maintenant face à face dans l'entre-deux.
Is beyond the call of duty, and that's what's happened.
18 from the line. Miller's second one up. Good. In fact, had it not been for Miller in the overtime of Game 5 of the first round against the Lakers, they might have. I don't believe it.
The refs are clueless in this game right now. Sean just bumps him a little bit. Barkley goes into an acting routine. Jared Rosen just sees the second play, the reaction. Right here you see Kemp and Barkley going out. They just get tangled up. Barkley throws his arms and Sean a light bump. It's just ridiculous. It's a no call. You don't make that call. You don't just see the second play and react to it.
Kemp is standing right there by Barkley. Those two guys are John right now. They are flapping. They are vibrating the wind down there right now. And Ainge misses the telling Oliver Miller. Kemp and Askew want a piece of Miller. Now Barkley steps up. He's tied up with Kemp and Payton. Back here is McMillan. Oliver Miller is throwing a tirade at midcourt. Here comes Lionel Hollins to restrain Miller. Tim Gerg.
Utah takes its 2-zip lead to Houston. It's a series in which the play has gotten rougher and the talk tougher game by game. Last night, when John Stockton got steamrolled by the chuck wagon, the fuse was lit for some post-game fireworks.
Obviously, the ref's not going to do their job. They're going to let him set, move, and pick that day. So I was trying to separate his shoulder or break a rib. I was serious.
I like it. No, I don't care. Hey, you want to bang? Let's bang. That's why we lift weights every day, so we'll be able to bang.
Dishing outside to Anderson. And he's still got that hot hand. 5 points in the game for Anderson, a 17-point Portland lead. Away from the ball, a whistle.
Call a foul on Barkley. An elbowing foul. They're going to give 2 shots to Richard Anderson. So Barkley may be playing in a little bit of frustration. Jim Lynam lets him sit down for a minute to cool off. As you'll see them fighting for position right here.
So Barkley picking up his second foul. Richard Anderson. These last couple of minutes.
Johnson breaks away, and again, that's a way to take advantage of Barkley, try to allow the bigger guy a chance to score, so Johnson comes back with back-to-back hoops.
Johnson has 6, the lead back up to 18. Johnson furious. Being restrained by Terry Porter. And he'll sit down now as Drexler comes back in. Technical call against Steve Johnson. Happened on this technical foul was called against Steve Johnson. He and Charles Barkley going at it pretty good.
Well, you know anything about amusement parks and bumper cars, the guy with the bigger and the faster car usually wins. Well, Johnson, and you only react like this when you're at home. We got lots of friends as he gets after the official.
Duckworth a little strong with the shot. Rebound battled for. It's loose. Barkley trying to save it. He goes tumbling into the seats. And we'll get a jump ball.
Well, the Bucks wanted to keep Charles Barkley from going crazy. They did in the first half when he only scored 8 points. He has 41 points, 15 rebounds, and he's talking to himself with 1:29 to go.
He does that.
And the Sixers are up 112-110.
He psychs himself up.
That's exactly what he's doing.
All right.
For the stretch drive. Kicks. Barkley. There's a whistle.
Offensive
foul.
He can't believe it. He's running the court to try to catch up with Wally Rooney.
He wasn't back playing defense. He was going after Wally Rooney. The Bucks have a chance to go ahead here, and Moncrief gives him the lead at 63-62. 3:40 to go in the third.
Well, that's great concentration. You have Jaminski coming up at you. You got to shoot over him, and Barkley gets the technical. You could see it coming the way he ran after the official.
He blew down the court. Talked with Wally Rooney all during that play in which Moncrief scored. And now Craig Hodges will step up to the free throw line. Normally Jack Sikma would shoot.
He was the first player in town showing up at the arena on Thursday to work on his game. Throughout the weekend, he's been giving autographs, holding press conferences, trying to get a message across.
I have to be out there for myself, and I have to be out there for a lot of people who are, whether they have a disease, whether they have a handicap, whatever they have, and let them see that they can carry on and still live and don't have to feel like they're different.
Most players have approved of Magic's presence here, but Charles Barkley suggested that maybe Johnson should step aside and let some of the lesser-known players get some attention.
Well, unfortunately, it's going to take away a lot of publicity from the guys who have had great first half of the season.